Hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome back to another movie review. Today I'm gonna be reviewing Alita, Battle Angel, and as usual I'm quickly gonna go through the story of this movie to tell you in short what the movie is all about. Then I'm gonna share my opinions and thoughts about this movie, so in case you didn't watch it, one big spoiler alert across the screen. And yeah, just click away from this video and come back after you watch a movie if you want to. If you don't want to, that's totally okay. But if you really are interested right now in my opinions and thoughts about this movie and what I got to say about this movie, then yeah, stay with me till the end of this video and let's get started. Alright, so Alita Battle Angel is a movie that was released this year. It's a SF/action movie. It's actually anime adaptation, and in story of this movie we follow a girl called Alita, and she's basically cyborg kinetic organism, whatever you want to call it. Basically, she's a robot. She gets collected from the scrapyard by this good doctor that puts her all back together again. He gives her a new body, and when she wakes up, she has no memory of who she was before and how did she ended up on that scrapyard. And as the movie goes on, she slowly starts to remember who she was before, and she basically was a soldier from Mars. She was part of Mars Republic unit or something like that. Yeah, basically she was a special soldier that had a mission, and her mission was to destroy Zalem, which basically is the huge floating city where only rich people live and all other poor people live in the town below that's all wrecked and dirty, destroyed, and they're trying to live the best way as they can. And yeah, a movie is set in really far future from now, and the entire world is basically destroyed. It's been some sort of apocalypse. Movie never explains that, and everything is gone to shit, destroyed, and survivors from all over the world gathered in that one city that's shown in this movie, and made one huge community out of that city. And yeah, they're all living there, but the rest of rich people are living in the city that's floating in the sky above them. This is something that reminded me a lot of a movie called Elysium. If you ever watched that movie, watch it. It's a great movie, and as the movie goes on, Alita gets to know this world that people live in today, and she meets some new friends and gets to know them and how they live, what they do. And then there is this main villain that you barely get to see in this movie. His name is Noah. He's up there on the Zalem, and he's pretty much controlling everything, all the cyborgs, robots, military, everything. He basically is the one who controls the entire city up there on Zalem and this wrecked city down below him. He's basically the bad guy that you get to know absolutely nothing about, just like pretty much all the other characters. And that's pretty much entire story about this movie. Yeah, she's a girl with no memory. She's so badass. She knows all the military shit, you know. She's a kick-ass. And well, yeah, this movie was crap. Yeah, I gotta say that this movie was crap, you know. There's nothing really much I can say about this movie. I feel like one part I missed a fuck ton of shit that was happening in this movie. I couldn't just understand what the fuck is going on at one point. Characters in this movie made me not to care about them at all. I didn't give a single fuck about a single character in this movie. That's how terrible the character development was. There is so many holes in this movie and so many unanswered questions. As I was watching this movie, I kept getting more and more questions like, who is this guy? Where did he came from? What does he want? Who is this woman? What does she want? Where did she get from? And movie kinda tries to explain you that, but it fails completely, you know. There is still much more that you can invest into those characters, and I'm hugely disappointed in this movie because it was done in cooperation with James Cameron, which is a guy who made Avatar. That was absolutely fantastic movie, and Titanic years ago. That was also a blast back then. I mean, movie that was made in cooperation with James Cameron. This just sucks, man. It's a huge fucking disappointment. I wasted what, like 2 hours? I don't remember how long the movie was. Anyways, I wasted my life watching this movie and I regret it fucking badly, man. Just there is nothing interesting as beside action happening in this movie. I'm gonna say that action is definitely one of the funnest things I have watched lately. Action is a lot of fun in this movie, absolutely, I cannot deny that. CGI was definitely also one of the best. The world and everything, all the effects, everything looks beautiful. It's fucking fantastic and stunning. It's gonna leave you with your jaw dropped. Yeah, all that good. Another thing that really bothered me about this movie is the story that's struggling, but really, really badly struggling to keep up with the special effects in this movie. That was such a huge issue for me in this movie. Since the beginning of the movie, you are thrown into this movie without even knowing his story. Like, story goes so fucking fast. I just couldn't keep up with it. Just no. And special effects, they just couldn't keep up with the story. They were way ahead of the story. I feel like they wanted to put as much special effects and cool CGI as possible just to make it look cool, and they just totally forgot about the story, and I just couldn't keep up with it. I just really couldn't keep up with the story. It was like really fast, and damn, it was so fucking bad. The story was so empty. Alita through the movie meets so many characters. She falls in love with this one guy called Hugo. He has also some little story behind him, also pretty empty, and somehow through the movie they fall in love, and there is so many emotional moments. I mean, they were supposed to be emotional, but they sucked so fucking badly. I didn't feel any of emotions in those moments. Those moments were supposed to be like, oh, that's so sweet. Oh no, that just happened. I was just like, yeah, whatever. I don't give a fuck. You know, it's really bad character development. That was killing me through the entire movie. You know, there's so many characters. You could have put so many character development into these characters and develop their stories, their character much more. Instead of that, you just put them into movie. You don't get to know almost anything about them. You just see them doing their thing in the movie, and just, you know, it's boring. It's boring as fuck. This movie was boring as fuck to me, you know. Again, action was good, it was fun, CGI was on the point, but the story of this movie is just a huge letdown, and I just couldn't enjoy it. I just couldn't enjoy this movie. Beside those action scenes, there was nothing else I enjoyed about this movie, and besides that, it looks gorgeous. And the reason why I think that happened to me is because I'm not a fan of the anime, original Battle Angel Alita anime. This movie, like I said at the beginning, was made by anime. This is anime adaptation. I don't watch anime, I don't read manga, and I think that's actually why I was so let down by this movie. I'm not used to these types of movies, you know, animes and stuff. I really didn't fit in with this, and I think you're gonna feel pretty much the same if you are not an anime fan. Maybe you're gonna like this movie, maybe it's gonna be fantastic to you, but for me it was huge letdown, and I just didn't really care about this movie a single second or anything about it. It was just something like I watched and I instantly forgot about when I watched it. That's how boring it was to me. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention what a bullshit ending this movie had. I haven't witnessed this bullshit ending in a movie in a while now, actually. Instead of getting Alita fighting the main villain in this movie and getting that epic boss fight that I was waiting through the entire movie to show up, no, you just get her raising her sword towards Zalem, and you get to see that main villain, and that's the only scene where you get to see that main villain actually in person, and that's it. Just credits pop up, and that's the end of a movie. And then there is also this another villain. He's actually not a villain. He's he's working for the main villain, but he actually isn't really that bad guy, and the main villain communicates through him to Alita and other characters in this movie. This guy is called Victor, and his eyes just turned blue, and that's when this main villain Noah entered his head, and now he's speaking through him to other characters. It's so fucking bullshit in a movie like this. They couldn't even put the main villain come in person and say shit he has to say, you know. No, they just put, instead of that, some other character, just, okay, I'm just gonna speak through his body, you know, and just make him look bad, even though he's not really that bad. And then, also in the movie, there are those bounty hunters, cyborgs and humans. They live together in this wrecked city. And then bounty hunters are cyborgs that you pay money and they go and kill someone. There's this one cyborg that is so fucking badass, and he has the sword that's actually stolen from Mars unit, from Alita's soldiers. And when she gets the new body at one point of the movie, there's this crashed ship from the Mars, which also belonged to her unit. She goes to that ship and takes her new body that's designed for her, and that body is much stronger and better than the one Doctor put her in. And one night she just goes into a bar full of these bounty hunters, which are basically the biggest badasses in this movie, definitely. And she's just like, hey guys, I'm here to start a revolution, you know, there's this guy called Noah, and he is manipulating us all, and he's a big liar, and he's actually a bad guy, you know, we should go and kill him. And then everyone's like, is this bitch for real? What the fuck's she talking about? You know, and then she's like, alright, I'm just gonna beat you up for that, and she beats the fuck out of everyone, which actually was fun. I enjoyed that action scene, and action scenes like that. Movie was full of action scenes like that for this movie, and yeah, that was fun. But when you think a little bit about it, there is no point for beating up these guys. And later in the movie, these bounty hunters, especially the one with the sword, he looks so fucking weak, and few moments ago he was just the main badass in the movie you shouldn't fuck with. Absolutely no. You're dead. And even Alita used to fear him at the beginning, and then when she gets this new body, now she's so strong and brave, and she just goes and beat the fuck out of him, and then he looks like a little kid compared to her, you know. There is just poor development, poor character development. It's fucking sucks. I don't know, I just couldn't enjoy that. That was just, it was killing me, man. Just killing me through the entire movie. Stuff like that was just so bad. But the ending, man, when I saw the ending, I was like, oh, I just completely wasted my time watching this movie. I regretted watching this movie after I saw the ending of this movie. It was such a fucking bullshit. I don't know, maybe you're gonna like it, but like I said, if you're not an anime fan, if you didn't watch original Battle Angel Alita anime or read manga, then yeah, I think this is not gonna be good for you either. But maybe it is gonna be good for you. I don't know. It all depends from person to person. This is just my opinion, and no one else in the world has to agree with this, but yeah, this is what I got to say about this movie, and this is what I think. That doesn't mean anyone else has to think the same way as I do, but yeah, I got nothing else to say about this movie. It was just fucking bad for me. If you enjoyed this movie review, then go ahead and leave a like, share, comment, or subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's totally okay. Also, you can join my Chris Facebook group. A link is down below in the description. I post all kind of stuff over there, like memes and a bunch of other shit. And yeah, you can leave any questions if you have any questions on my as.fm. Link is also down below in the description. I love you guys. I'll definitely see you in the next videos. And thank you for watching. And you know what? Chris out.